In this video, I'm going to show you another workflow for MiniMax H3 built for low VRAM. It speeds up generation by using a LoRA that lets you run 4 to 8 steps instead of 20. So watch until the end. If you're new to ComfyUI, this video will get you started running either locally or using a cloud GPU. So in this workflow, I've uploaded 2 images. One is for the character, and the other one is for the outfit. And we can add more than 2, 3, even more. Right now it's set up for 4 reference images. And in the prompt, we have to tell it which is which. So we're using a LoRA. It's the realism people LoRA. And the LoRA needs a trigger word. Every time we have to include the trigger word to activate it. Without the trigger word, it doesn't even get applied to the generation. So every time you have to use the trigger word in the prompt, and the trigger word is R34L1SM. And when you mention a character or an asset in the prompt, it has to be wrapped in angle brackets. The less than sign at the start, the one pointing to the left, and the greater than sign at the end, pointing to the right. In between you type picture, and then the number. If you're referring to reference image 1, you type picture 1. For the second one, picture 2. Always use that bracket format. Picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, whatever it is. So my prompt is R34L1SM, and then picture 1 is the man, and he's wearing the outfit from picture 2, so that means reference 2, this one here. That's how we're saying the character in reference 1 is wearing the outfit from reference 2, and then mention the shot. This is a medium shot, and you can mention the location here as well. In this case, I've said rooftop. And we also provide the audio file. It can detect the dialogue on its own from whatever is being said, but it's even better if we also write the dialogue out. We can still mention the dialogue, and it follows the lip sync more accurately. Here, we're pointing it at audio 1. And that's the custom voice file we uploaded into the workflow. And what I want is for this character to wear this jacket. But it's better not to name the type of jacket, leather jacket or whatever, because the workflow tends to follow the prompt more than the reference image. So if I say jacket, instead of putting him in the actual jacket we loaded in, it'll put him in some generic jacket. So instead of saying jacket, I just say the outfit. Keep it generic, don't get very specific about the outfit. And in this workflow, we're using a turbo LoRA. We're using it for the speed, so it's so much faster than the previous one. We're on 8 steps. We can even try 4. Going from 20 steps down to 8 is a lot faster. It saves a lot of time. The way that works is the model does the calculation in broader steps. Its steps are bigger. It goes more or less straight instead of following the curve. It still goes through the calculation, it just takes fewer, bigger steps. So that's how we can run 8 steps instead of 20. And we can even try 4. Once you're happy with the prompt and all the settings, you can hit run. But before we hit run, let me also tell you about the duration and the resolution. Right now we're on preset 2, so that's going to be 5 seconds. And for this workflow, that's the biggest resolution the presets go up to. And like in the previous workflow, if you want to set the duration and the resolution manually, you have to set the value here to 0 in the preset node. While there's a value in the preset node, the manual nodes won't do anything. They won't affect the generation. The preset values run from 1 to 6. When it's more than 6, say you put in 20, it defaults back to preset 3. So that's how the workflow is. The only way you can set the duration and the resolution yourself is to set the preset node to 0. Once you set it to 0, you can set the duration here. For this test, I've uploaded an audio file that I generated with 11 labs.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody...
So we're going to test with this. And in the prompt, I've also typed out the dialogue, not just providing the audio file. And now let's hit run and see.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody else had...
So the lip movement, the lip sync, is okay. And the outfit we used in reference 2 is also matching in the output. And it looks smooth. There's a lot of motion, a lot of things going on. That's because we added another model for frame interpolation. This makes the visuals look smoother. We take it from 24 frames per second up to 48. So that's 2 times. 2 times smoother, more frames in the output. This is the model responsible for making the output smoother, and it doesn't consume a lot of VRAM. It's a very light model. It doesn't take long to process, but it makes the result look a lot better. And we're also using the realism people LoRA, so that makes the visuals more realistic, more photorealistic, and that makes it better. And here in the previous workflow, the audio sigma shift was 3, but now we've raised it to 6 because of the steps. Earlier, we were using 20 steps, but now it's 8. so there could be some distortion in the audio. That's the reason we bring it up to 6. And here's another test. Right now I'm trying to add more references, so I'm going to activate another node, reference image 3. And now I've added this image as the location, and these are the two characters. So always use the trigger word. And picture 1 refers to this character, and picture 2 refers to this character, and picture 3 refers to this node, and here in the prompt, it's the same dialogue I used earlier. And here you can describe anything that you'd like the characters to do in the video. So I've briefly described the action, the things I want the characters to do, and this is the location where they'd be. Let's hit run and see. Now the generation is much faster, as it went from 20 steps to just 8.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody else had.
So the video result is that reference image 1 and 2 have kind of blended. Reference character 2 is in a silver-white t-shirt, but it's made it yellow, the same as image 1. And image 2's hair has gone from black to a yellowish blonde, but the consistency is amazing. The only thing off is the outfit and the hair. The facial consistency is pretty much consistent. But for now, it's ignored image 3, the warehouse. So let's try once more.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody else had.
So you can see this time it's perfectly done. Image 2 nods his head when image 1 says that, and the background is also now using image 3. No more blending, no more confusion. So the first one was blending and had some problems. And on the second run, it's done correctly. The lip sync is correctly done, even the ES sounds are synced. And from there, if you want to use the workflow as text to video, you can bypass all these nodes. Now this would be text to video. We're still giving it the audio. And in case you don't want the custom audio, you can bypass the audio nodes too. But if you want, you can keep the custom audio and let the model decide the visuals, the characters. So when it's text to video, the model decides the characters.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody else had.
That's how it picks those characters, and the custom audio is used again. And the reason we get a man and a woman is that here in the prompt we refer to picture 1 as the man, and for picture 2 we didn't mention anything about the character's gender. So it's ambiguous, it can't clearly tell if it's a man or a woman, so it decides to use both a man and a woman. And it's still using our custom audio, and the lip sync seems okay. Not quite as good as earlier when we used the pictures. But sometimes it can be hit or miss. There's no batch in this workflow. So instead of setting a batch for multiple versions, you can just hit run multiple times. So it queues up multiple versions, and then you can go to assets and see the output. It's going to sit there. Once you hit run, it queues, so they go one after another, and the outputs land in assets where you can see all of them. There'll be different versions. They won't be the same because every generation gets a new seed. When you set control after generate to randomize, it keeps changing. So it won't be the same as the first version. It'll keep on changing. Even though the inputs are the same, the outputs will be different as the seed keeps changing. So that's how you can have the same input and get different versions by clicking run multiple times. It queues up and goes one after another. And when I run it again like this, it doesn't have to start from the very beginning, from scratch. It already knows what you've described. So the only thing left is the visuals. The encoders don't have to work again. So that saves a lot of time and a lot of VRAM, and you can pick the best output. This time, let's use only one picture and change the prompt. And let's use 4 steps. So the speed would be 2 times faster than the 8 steps we used earlier. We could expect more artifacts and more detail dropping out. But for the speed, let's give it a try.
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm saying nobody else had. I'm not saying it was.
So you can see the visuals. Even when the steps are at 4, it still looks smooth and it's still usable. It looks even smoother, but the thing is it's kind of soft and there's detail missing, so the quality is a little bit worse. But it's still quite impressive for 4 steps. And the time to generate a video is pretty much reduced to a minute or something like that. So the generation time is so much less now. The speed is pretty fast now. And you can see the consistency. Everything still holds up really well. Even on 8 gigs, the generation speed now feels like I'm on a much bigger card. The speed is so much faster now. And let me also walk through the workflow. The workflow is pretty much the same as the previous one. So we're still using MiniMax H3, Ref2 VA, pruned INT8. The difference is that we added the turbo LoRA, which takes the speed from 20 steps down to 4 to 8. So you can use 4 when there isn't much action in the scene. If the scene requires a lot of action, hands moving, that kind of movement, then you can increase it to 8. And if it's just a close-up shot, just the lips for the dialogue, you can drop it to 4. That can even look better, because sometimes at 8 steps there can still be some artifacts. At 4, there's less detail, but it seems smoother, and the LoRA strength is set to 1, and we also added another LoRA. That's the realism people one. I2V, R2V, T2V. So the LoRA supports all of those, and this is Sage Attention. This is another node, but this is a node we've been using from the previous workflows. This is for speed and easy cache. For this workflow, we don't actually need easy cache as we're using the speed LoRA. This node's job is to skip some of the calculation. And instead of doing that, we're using the LoRA and we're running 4 to 8 steps. So we don't need this node, load clip, the video VAE, the audio VAE, all these files are the same as before. But I've added more reference images up to 4. And you can use a reference video as well, and you can even tell it to emulate the motion. And you can also use the video's audio for the output. And like before, we have the audio node where you can upload your custom audio. And the preset nodes and all of these are the same as the previous workflows. And like I've already mentioned, the steps are now set to 4 or 8. You can always use 8. That would be the safe bet because it's not too low and it's not too high. 4 to 8 will be okay. But when the video requires more action, you can increase it to 6 or 8. And like I've already said, we added another model for increasing the frames per second from 24 to 48. So this doesn't consume much VRAM. It's just an enhancement. So that's the workflow. The previous workflow consumed a lot of time, and that was the downside. And now this workflow solves that problem. And I have another workflow that's similar to this one, and that workflow lets you continue the video. It's like a chain. You can make the video continue from where it stopped, so the next clip continues from the last frame of the very first video, and you can build a continuous video that way. But right now, I'm only covering this workflow. And there's another model that's just out, LTX 2.5. So I'll try to build another workflow for that. I'll try to figure it out for low VRAM,